Ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting stage show you've ever witnessed.
Woo! How about that? It is time once again for the Brofessionals. I am your host this week because this show is a rotating show that each week we take turns hosting it on our own channels. That means we all have channels, so support all of our channels to keep up with the bros. Tonight is a late night special edition. We're trying out a different time slot just for the heck of it, see what happens. And we're going to talk about things that we normally talk about after the show's over tonight, and just kind of give it a little different vibe to it, and we'll see what happens. But we're going to start off, folks.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
So my herpes, though, that's off the table, right? We're not going to talk about that. That is when we're off the air.
Oh,
you got it. If you didn't get on the table, you wouldn't have had the herpes.
Oh,
see, now I have no subject for tonight. I was going to open.
Oh, was that your lead in? My herpes? Oh, that's not cool.
Lord. Okay. Well, I didn't know. I thought it was common knowledge, but okay. I'll pivot real quick.
Okay.
And this may come as a shock to some people, but AI really pisses me off. And something happened this past weekend help me out, guys. Was it Dragon Con?
Dragon Con.
Somebody was up there selling completely AI generated art for prints and things like that. They called the cops on him, shut him down, and had him escorted out because Dragon Con, thankfully, does not support that kind of stuff. And it reminds me, gentlemen, it wasn't too long ago, and maybe some of you will remember who this guy was. I can't remember his name, but there was a dude going around conventions making prints using other people's work and then kind of manipulating it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what this reminds me of, but just maybe even to a more offensive degree. What do you guys think?
I think the other guy's more offensive because
he made videos and stuff. He made a song. What the fuck was his name? Rob Gravino, right?
Wow.
Remember
good memory.
Rob Gravino, and he don't judge him. He made a song and all this stuff. Like he basically
yeah. Wait, was that his name? That sounds right.
Yeah,
didn't Paul Levitz confront him at a show one time? Because he looked up and he saw Wonder Woman, Batman, and he goes, he starts pointing all those things and goes, "Those have to come down, or we're going to sue you."
Maybe I'm sure he's done it to a couple of guys.
Could have been, yeah.
He's vicious. So,
Aaron, I did share a screen with the article. If you want to share it.
Yeah,
so this was it. It was police called on artists accused of selling AI art at Dragon Con. This time, police were called on an artist accused of selling AI art over the weekend at Dragon Con. The summary is police were called. Okay. Vendor Oriana Jerez faced backlash and was asked to leave, sparking heated debate across social media platforms.
Social media, hello.
So the thing is, generating AI artwork isn't against the law at this point. So why were the police called? Just because he wouldn't leave?
They had probably he wouldn't leave. It was probably
Okay.
going to pack up, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck you."
Well, and again, I guess it depends always when you come down on the side of this stuff, what you can, but I don't have a problem with that. I know it gets kind of sticky, but if you're out there taking, which is essentially copyrighted material and making an amalgam of a bunch of different copyrighted material, and you've done nothing except tell the computer to generate this image for you, I don't think that's legit. And I don't have a problem with Dragon Con, shutting it down, because at least
I don't either, because I mean it is a type of thievery, and the thing is, like, people like us that actually have spent years honing not just the craft but a style. Then if somebody can steal that style within minutes, seconds, then we do have to start trying to protect ourselves a little bit. I do remember sampling in music, and I think it was Phil Collins, and I remember him talking about it, and even Michael Jackson Jackson wasn't about the sampling of the music. His was about its likeness. Like, people could just use his face. They could put it in a magazine, they could do whatever. So he was trying to legally make it to where they had to get written permission from him to do that. And then Phil Collins was talking about, he spent like us a career trying to hone a drum sound, right? And in those days, it was all acoustic. It was all like you had to actually do it physically. And so then some guy can sample it like that. Boom, all of a sudden, Phil Collins drum roll. You know what I mean? In the middle of a song. And it was happening all the time. People were stealing stuff. And I think this is just the artwork version of that, where people can just lift things and not acknowledge the creator.
If this is the best this chick can do with AI, she really sucks.
Yeah, this
I'm
look like
looking at
AI. It looks like pastiches or what do you call those things where you paste up different things together?
This doesn't, if I walk by this booth and this was the art that was there, and I just look, if this is the wrong person, I apologize, but I just took the name from the article, did a Google search, and this is the site. I can't imagine there's many people with this name.
Right. But on the plus side, she's good looking.
Yeah. She's
so you got that going for you, which is nice.
Well, let's look at the about. Oh, well, there she is.
They threw her out? Come on.
Now it says she used oil and acrylic.
Well, I'm sure she can. I'm sure she has her paintings like that stuff that was there, but then she switched over to the AI, to the dark side.
And she's from Miami now. And I mean, I don't know.
I just find it crazy that someone can just press a few buttons and it could generate a piece of artwork. If only
Andy, I'm curious.
Like this.
Andy, if you were to say, take your face and put it in an AI generator and say, make me look like Tarzan or something, what do you think that would look like?
Let's see.
I'd love to see Andy Smith Tarzan. I'd love to see that.
I know you would. So give me a second here. Don't share the screen yet. I got to get the right tab up. Well, this is okay. So this is from my modeling days. I kind of do this on the side. So this is from a photo shoot. If you want to share it.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
there you go. Hello, nurse.
I need to make some money on the side and stuff. Well, now this was before I started trying to grow my hair out.
Dude, you got to send that to Helen.
Yeah.
Does she know
it's own wallpaper?
My favorite is the big bulge there, like in your loincloth.
Yeah, right.
There's a leopard in there.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. What's in your left hand? It looks like a rope or something, but it's not going anywhere. Is that your tail?
That's no rope.
No, that's funny because I've got there's a big, this is AI for you. There's a vine for my right hand coming down behind my head, but then this rope type vine just comes from around my back, but it looks like it's part of the skinny vine. Yeah, like it transformed behind my back.
Like a rope. I mean, the other things look like vines. Those things look like ropes.
I know.
But-
Next
but-
cat.
Stupid AI.
That
This
is
is-
terrifying. I mean,
Yeah.
it's terrifying. Like this.
I was
Guys, it's the
told-
future, sadly, sad to say it. Holy shit.
I was told to play Tarzan properly. I need to grow my hair properly.
Yeah. Now, this
That's a drug dealer right there.
Oh, hey now, come on.
this
Look at that guy.
you know what's
He's
horrifying
selling
about
meth.
this? You know what's horrifying about this? This looks real. That's what's
Yeah.
scary to me.
Yeah.
and how
Yes.
real this
Andy,
looks.
now if you grew your hair, you could see he's got like a receding hairline. It's up
Yeah.
its back. Do you think your hair would probably look like that?
No, not at all. My hair would be more like Kelsey Grammer from Frasier. It would curl because my hair was curly, kind of. So it would just kind of curl and go out like like Bozo.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know
like
about
a fro.
that.
I don't know
Like you'd
about
have a fro.
I don't know about Andy, but the guy on the screen right now definitely has a manifesto in the top drawer.
Yeah.
Oh, hey now, come on.
There's no two ways about it.
And,
Oh,
and
that
a
is
sex change on the Skadooly.
Well, I want to
That's hurtful.
I got to show something too, because I, like Andy, I did a little bit of modeling myself a few years ago. I don't know what you got. It made me very uncomfortable, so I quit doing it. But this is one of the things that I did here.
Oh, hello, Aaron. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this is not just your modeling, but this is your modeling for Boris Vallejo.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And of course, one of Eternal Desire, one of the great Laura Ashworth's multi-million-dollar New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
Eternal Desire.
Fabio retired, and I heard the first call he made was Aaron. He said, "Guy, I'm out. You need to step in. They need somebody."
Well, Laura asked for me specifically, so at that point, you're saying, "All right, okay,
That's right.
I'll
You
do it."
got to do what you got to do.
And that chick you're with is hot too.
Well,
Look at that hand.
she seemed strangely artificial to me. It just didn't.
Not
It's
as
like
realistic as you are.
No. Now,
Yeah.
Graham, is this a vacation photo you've got?
No, this is when I was on the pro surfing tour.
Oh, okay.
I used to surf against Kelly Slater.
Look, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's like you're smoking a chimney. It's like a train.
I know.
Smoke up that-
You should have seen the first cigar the thing gave me. It was like a fucking 2x4. I kept prompting it. Make cigar smaller. Make cigar smaller. And finally, it got it down to a decent size.
Oh,
Oh, my
that's what
God,
you
that's
do.
hilarious.
Okay.
I
'Cause
love the
got the
speedo
one
there.
driving.
It's
Yeah, I know. You
America.
couldn't tell
It's America.
after it got the cigar the right size, you couldn't go back in and say, "Hey, could you put me in American flag trunks and not a Speedo?"
Well,
We get it. You
I
don't
wore
skip
a
leg
Speedo
day.
on the tour, Andy.
Okay.
That's how we dressed when he was
That's how we,
surfing. What are you gonna
back
do?
in the
Yeah,
70s,
Andy,
that's how we did
this isn't AI, Andy. This is real
Oh,
life
that's right.
stuff.
it. Yeah. You've seen my pictures. I don't wear long shorts.
You came in second to that one-armed surfer chick, though. How'd that feel?
Worse was when I came in second to the one-legged guy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
well,
that's real bad.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Now, we also have a picture of Art to Bear on tour, I believe. Now, this is Art. You actually are a rock and roller, and this is, I guess, a picture of you from.
Yeah, this is me now. Like I moonlight as the drummer for whatever this band
Name of
is.
that band.
Whatever that band is.
You don't even
Doesn't it
know
say
the name of the
Metallica?
band?
No, it says Meta Ecker.
I can't read it. Yeah.
I tried. I couldn't read it either. But yeah. This is actually, if you guys ever wondered what I look like beyond this, just the shoulders here, that's pretty much accurate right there. I keep myself up, shape. I do like, I wear a little bit of a wig, so I got kind of like one of those clip-ons. So I got the long hair.
You're all tatted up there.
Yeah, you're getting your
Yeah, the tattoos are real too, you guys. Yeah.
two sleeves.
yeah.
You're getting, huh? Inked.
Yeah.
This is too much fun, man. Look at that.
Aaron, can you share the one I shared? I said, make me as a bow hunter smoking a cigar. And he made Ethan.
That's hilarious. Now, did you upload a photo of yourself?
No, I just said make me a cigar. I don't know what I'm fucking doing. But look at this guy with a cigar, Graham. Look.
Well, the AI has to know who me is.
Well, I said Billy Tucci, me on my account. I followed what you guys did, but look at the cigar and then
Yeah, you got to upload a photo.
like, where's the arrow? Where's the cigar?
Yeah,
right.
you're drawing the bow with the cigar.
Yeah. And then look, the string goes,
This is like a weird combination of Graham, Ethan, and Billy.
Yeah, I know. Look at the chimney smoke coming off that one. Good Lord.
It's coming off your glasses.
Yeah.
But Andy, you did make a good one of me. Then I'm going to make my profile picture.
This is exactly why those keyboard warriors will call themselves artists, because they'll say, well, someone has to go in there and tell the machine not to have my eyes smoking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there is a guy that broadcasts thinks he is an artist, and he's all over the internet, and making these comics, and he says it's not easy, to prompt it properly. You have to know all that. Okay, so you're a describer. That's your job then. You're not an artist. I mean, do you know color theory? Do you know how to compose a picture?
No, but AI does.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is going to just put, just think about art schools, it's all going to be gone.
Yeah. Well, most of them should be gone anyway.
Most of them should be. That's true. That's true.
That's the thing. I can't, I don't know. David,
see what David said, by the way,
a YouTube thing in the about AI, but I can't lift it out of the chat, so I don't know how to do that. But anyway, we were just talking about this, and again, this whole show is predicated on what do we talk about after the show's over, and this is one of those things, because we were having these conversations before the show started, and we're like, stop, wait, we're going on in 2 minutes. The question that came up. In fact, I think I brought it up, but I shouldn't take credit. But yeah, I did. And so, what's going to happen to movies? Where's the movie industry going to be? Yeah, we're the easy target as artists right now, but this is going to affect movies. I mean, Billy, what was your take on this?
Well, this is my idea of how I think this could benefit us, because I remember we're talking to some people now doing film deal. Our last film deal was like 20 years ago. And I remember talking to them about wanting to make the movie I want to make. And I said, and if you don't make it, I'll just make it myself 25 years from now. That is literally what I said 20 years ago.
And
right.
I gotta make a movie. But now with AI, think about it. You could, right? Graham, you had said that they're doing screenplays, that someone can buy a screenplay program, right? And you could type in, here's a story of 5 guys. They're on a stream. They're streaming live. They're talking about comics. Throw comics in there.
What an exciting movie!
And one of them gets murdered live.
Oh.
That would be Andy.
And you don't know who. And the other 4 are suspects. At first, they're all shocked, but wait a minute, things don't add up. Was one of them actually streaming live? Was he there? Did he
actually?
And then they could write that whole fucking script.
Dude, I like this idea.
And you could even tell it. You could even tell it. Write it in a William Goldman style.
Wow! Oh my God! Yeah. So what I'd like to do, and Debbie and I are going to stream out this on Thursday, is I am seriously considering. I don't know where to get. I don't know anything, guys. I've never used any of this stuff, but I'm a quick study. Andy Smith.
Oh yeah.
I want to look into it and see how much it costs, how much. How long it would take, what programs to buy. But I'm going to start looking into this, is that I'd love to take, say, Return of the Warrior, and make a movie. Send in my art, download my art into this program with all my shots that I set up, right? With me and Steve Peros' script, and say, here's a script. Try to, talk about casting actors or something. Maybe we have the voiceovers first, blah, blah, blah. We do that. Or make this sound like the woman from Shogun, whatever her name is, the woman that starred as Mariko in Shogun to be the lead for She voice. And look about doing this and make little comic book vignette films. Someone else is going to do it. Why not us?
Well, I've been talking to some people about doing it with Chrono Mechanics. Like When I got my deal with Kids WB, there was a Bible that we put together. So there are turnarounds, not just of all the characters, but the environments and stuff as well. So I could put those into, an AI program. So, because the biggest thing for me is consistency. So if I could get the consistency down, like I said, I've been talking to some people as well, Billy. The problem is consistency now. But if you have a style guide or you have a model and you can put that in there and there's turnarounds, then it kind of it makes it easier. But there's still all these weird AI things that are problematic. So it's mostly consistency.
Right.
I think any of us could do it. I just think at this point, the stuff that we have access to just doesn't have the consistency level. But once it gets to that point and we have access to it, oh shit, nothing will stop us from being the next Walt Disney, right? We don't need a crew of 1,000 people. We don't need $200 million. We need, somebody that understands the programming. We can tell the stories. We can draw the images. We can do all that stuff. And basically, the AI can do the animation. We don't even need the AI to write the stories. We would all probably write our own stories.
Well, you have a story already. You could load up your script. Then you can load up your art, your page. And if you don't like a scene, say, act 2, scene 30. I don't like that way that you could just type in, right, Graham? You said when you worked on the cigar, make that cigar smaller, make that, and I know this
you
is
can prompt
terrifying.
things. Yeah, you can prompt and edit. I don't know how easy that is if it's a movie. I'm sure there's,
you can cut a film. You can cut it up. You stop it there and then you insert another scene.
Well, it doesn't work like that with AI because it's generating it. You're not cutting something that already exists. You're having to regenerate everything.
You don't think
you'd have to do it from start. I think that's why there's a lot of inconsistencies in it as well, because there just isn't the memory. Like if it had the memory and it could remember those things and then could at that one moment stop and then continue, then maybe. And I'm sure those programs do exist because I heard that a lot of that Fantastic Four, that Marvel movie, was AI generated. So Hollywood's already doing this stuff.
Sure they are.
Okay, but the technical aspect is fascinating, but what's the moral aspect? Okay, are we enraged when someone like this woman at Dragon Con creates AI art by using just AI to create images and stealing from everybody else to create these images, but we're not outraged by AI if we use it ourselves on our own characters? So that's okay, but AI in general is not. I mean, how do we feel about it? I mean, what is our moral obligation as artists? Do we sit there and celebrate the fact that, okay, well, I'm getting screwed, so I'm going to screw Hollywood actors and producers too and make my own movie and get them out of the loop? Or do you think that's legit in terms of...
But if you want to frame it up, if you want to frame it up as good and bad like that, like the moral thing, then you can. I just look at it as a creative decision. You guys really didn't deal with this, but at one time, this industry was going, oh, we're going digital inks. We're going digital inks. And then everybody's asking, Art, how do you feel about this? You're an inker, blah, blah, blah. And I go, it's just another way to express yourself. Yeah. Like if a penciler wants to digitally ink or whatever it is to save money or to make more money or whatever, that's up to him. But what I do can't be replicated at the time. It couldn't be replicated the way I would do it. So I always said, like I think if you are a certain person, you have a voice and you have something original, then you still have a career. But like you said, the moral implication, this goes beyond that, because now AI, you could go ink it like Artie Bear. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like that is sheer thievery, especially if somebody's making money off of it.
Well, the money part is the next component here, Art, because once it becomes easy enough to do, the value of the art's going to go down. So people that are doing it old school, that are putting in the time, aren't going to get paid what they're worth, because some, Claude can come up and say, draw me a picture of Bane holding Batman over his head and about to break his back, and bam, then it spits it out, so it's going to devalue the art that we create.
And that was the inker / penciler, because now there were 2 originals for every page. So that debate still goes on. There are hardcore collectors that still want you to lower your price because there's a pencil that exists and an ink. And I always say, just buy both. You know what I mean? Like if you like, just buy both. Go to the penciler, buy that page, and then buy the inks off of me. I'm not going to go down on my price because it's still an original piece. And also, it's the piece that was printed.
Yeah.
You
that's
know,
the actual print.
in the book.
Yeah.
And so, like, I use the analogy, like with cell art, like animation art, which I do collect. The pencils are actually, you can get them cheaper than you can get the actual cell that's painted up and that was filmed, because that's the original piece that you see up on the screen.
And the animator didn't even touch that cell.
No, right?
You know, an in-betweener or one of those ladies that used to, you know, they put the cellophane over the paper and then they would trace it and then flip it over, paint the other side. And so the animator, Ward Kimball, never touched that cell that you just bought, you know?
Right. It was a process. Yeah. You're muted, Aaron.
Come on, Boomer.
David Williams called me right in the middle of the show, so I muted it so I could. Okay. Bad Adam 12 for $10. Hollywood isn't as screwed as the actors are. Just make virtual actors. No more complaining, unreasonable and unpleasant actors. You make a mismatch of faces and bodies, and you got your actors.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Oh, Aaron, Gary is funny. How are the bros doing tonight? It's nice to see everybody. Thank you for the 10. Thank you." I don't know if Gary's funny or not. That's a question to be answered on Graybeards. But
well,
I mean,
what about licensing the rights? I think that I can really see Del Toro just saying him, right? I'm saying it's going to be an older, well-established director that has nothing to prove, that's going to go with this experimental way.
Yep.
And he approaches Boris Karloff's daughter about licensing her grandfather or his granddaughter to star in this film with Boris Karloff's voice that they've picked up. They've gone through 100 of his films. They picked up all of his voice things from every age that he's been, from 46, when he's 46 years old, when he first did Frankenstein, till when he's 72 years old, when he did whatever, that sort of thing. And goes to them, and we will pay you $200,000 and a cut of the profits. They'll do it.
Right.
Well, here's the other thing, Billy. You know what's happening now is that they're approaching actors for the lifetime rights to their faces. Bruce Willis, before he got really bad, signed his away. So
really?
At some point, that they can make movies with Bruce Willis, because they'll create his face. They have enough tape of his voice to be able to sample that and recreate it. You could do that with Humphrey Bogart if you wanted Humphrey Bogart to, and you got the rights from the family to do that.
James Earl Jones sold the Vader voice to Disney. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys remember that Fred Astaire commercial with the vacuum cleaner? That wasn't that long ago. Where basically it's not AI, but it was, they bought the rights from his estate to go ahead and use him in that commercial, and there was a big outcry at the time about how immoral this was, and taking a dead person, and now we just look at it like everybody's going to do it. They're going to make money.
As long as you're compensating the talent,
right?
That's the big thing. Like all of us right now, there's nothing stopping from DC and Marvel to generate comics in our style. There's nothing stopping them from doing that.
How long before they go Milli Vanilli though, and they create a new actor,
right?
And that doesn't even exist, and puts him in a movie, and they make him a movie star, and he's not even real.
Yeah, what if they Frankenstein it, where they can input like the characteristics of like a Tom Cruise, a Brad Pitt, with the acting chops of name whoever, right? And create this actor.
Yeah.
But if they make a Bruce Willis movie with his likeness, and then Bruce watches it, and then Bruce goes, "I don't know who that guy is, but he's the best actor I've ever seen. That guy's awesome."
Well, here's the thing too with art, that they can go to the Kirby estate, right? Of how Jack got fucked over,
Right.
and say, we're going to do Jack Kirby returns to comics with full approval of the Kirby family and have a new Fantastic Four story by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. And
Yep.
they go to Stan's
But the
corner.
thing is,
Oh no,
like
you
the
have
only,
to
the only
go.
thing
You have
that
to go to Marvel to get the permission to use Fantastic.
right,
I'm saying
right.
Marvel
But
does
the
it.
only
Marvel
thing,
could do it.
No, Marvel.
yeah, the
does
only thing that's stopping them
Oh.
now is morality. It's like Aaron said, the morality aspect of it. The only thing that would
Right.
stop them right now is bad press and morality. It's the only thing that's stopping anybody from doing any of this stuff right now.
Yep.
They
Right.
have the technology. Don't make any bones about. They have the technology.
Mhm.
So the
All
thing is,
This is
the only
hang on.
reason they're not doing it is because of the morality aspect, because they could do it. They could do it in a heartbeat. They could generate in all of our styles. They could just take it and they could generate a comic book in Graham style, Andy style.
Yeah, but they
any of
don't
our-
own styles.
They
You know,
could
like-
But they could. They own the book. They own the book. They could do the
Oh
style.
well, yeah,
within the
they could
book.
do. Let's say if they had the rights to Tarzan and they wanted to look like Joe Kubert, because he drew it, maybe they could do that. But
Well, why
they
couldn't
could-
they do it? Why couldn't they do a comic book in your style? There's no laws that say they can't.
Well, that's
well,
where you're going
because
to
then it
start
would
getting
look like me,
lawsuits.
and
Yeah, but that
it would be devaluing my value.
Yeah,
But
you
why
see
do they
the-
care? Why would Marvel and DC care about your?
Well, not
Well, they
just that.
wouldn't, but my lawyers would.
Right.
I don't know,
So
though,
what would you?
because, like-
What would you be suing on? What would you be suing based on? What grounds would you have? Like there are no rules on the books right now.
Right.
Like they could do whatever they want.
Well, here's a great example in real life. Just take, somebody that was doing like a real riff on like Jim Lee back in the day,
Mhm.
right? Could Jim Lee go after that person? I mean, that's real life stuff.
No,
That's
because then
what's
they can
coming up.
say-
Hey guys, this video right now that's rolling in the background. This is the one. This is apparently all AI generated. Everything in this.
Can you make it larger or no?
I don't know how. It's
Oh, I
on
don't think
Instagram. It's like a
I don't
little.
think you can. Is there sound? Can we hear it at
If
least?
you hit
Yeah,
on
there's
the
sound.
comment section, you might be able to go get bigger if you hit the little word balloon
Hear
bubble
that?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me Hollywood's not already doing this.
They're
Yeah.
So
definitely-
that guy right there is not an actor. He's all
No.
AI.
So here's the thing, though, Graham, is that it's almost like, say, you're Adam Hughes, right? And you
Mhm.
have these comic artists aping Adam Hughes' style
Mm-hmm.
and making careers on it, drawing like Adam Hughes.
Mhm.
And you could clearly see the influence that it's Adam Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
Adam can't sue them for that.
That's true.
Because then he's like,
That's
well, you also like Art Adams. And if you're going to do that, then it's
Mm.
after Art Adams, or then it's after Michael Golden, or it's after Alphonse Mucha. That sort
Right.
of thing.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah. How
way
far
that-
back do you go?
As
Yeah.
Aaron said, the only thing that's stopping them is morality. And
hang
I have
on a
no
second.
faith
Wait-
in them whatsoever.
Wait a
Art
second,
said-
though. If AI is taking published artwork and stealing from it, that's not someone saying, "Oh, I'm inspired by Adam Hughes, so I'm going to draw kind of like Adam Hughes." That's someone actually taking printed, copyrighted material, taking information from that, and then recreating it as a new print. That, to me,
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be as gray an
No,
area.
because if it's Marvel or DC, we already signed the rights away anyway.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
So
I'm just saying
they can do whatever they want. If it's just
Yeah,
Joe
but
Blow,
Lichtenstein
yeah. But the thing is, what I
millionaire.
Hold on,
What's
one
his
at a
name?
time.
Yeah, hang
Yeah,
on. guys.
hold on. So what I think has to happen is that people like us, these actors, we got to get out in front of this stuff, right? I mean, there have to be like some kind of parameters legally to actually protect any creative person, because they could writers, filmmakers.
They are doing that, Art. I saw like a symposium that this high-powered attorney, entertainment attorney, held in Hollywood recently, and he was talking about all this stuff, and that the Screen Actors Guild and the is it the Screenwriters Guild, SAG, or no?
The Writers Guild of America,
Right,
WG.
yeah, whatever that one was, because what this thing is doing is it's pulling stuff from other people's scripts, and it's pulling plots from other movies and all this
Right.
other stuff.
Right.
And if they can track that, they're trying to figure out a way that they can attribute royalties for the use of that stuff.
Right.
So
And
it's
they
in the
should.
works.
Yeah, they should.
Mhm.
I heard it was like Denmark or one of these countries that they actually passed a law that protects every citizen's likeness. So
Yeah, I saw
nobody
that.
can use their likeness. And I think these things really need to be more universal. But I think that Hollywood and these different people want to get as much on the books as they can. You know what I mean? Because then it'll be harder to
Yeah.
sue them because it'll be kind of just already ingrained in the way they do business. And I think that's why these things haven't happened yet.
Yeah, I
Well-
think we have to be pragmatic, just real quick, because I really think that you talk about William Golden, right? William Golden's passed, right? He's passed on. He hasn't made a film in 25 years, right? You go to his grandchildren who have never benefited anything from any of that. Hey, listen, we want to do a script in your grandfather's style, and I will license it, and we will pay you $2 million to have a script by William Golden, based on the work by William Golden, and you know for a fact that family would take it.
Well,
Yeah,
as long as they're doing it legally, as long as there's money
Yeah,
exchanged,
and they're
that's
crediting them.
fine.
And they're
Yeah,
that's
no,
fine.
that's what I'm saying. That's the future. That's what they're going to do.
Well, it's the
Bob,
future if you're William Gold is this Goldman?
It's
Um,
Well, the thing is, though, that
Yeah,
doesn't
if you're
save them
that
any
guy,
money.
but if you're just Joe Blow that wrote Aliens or one of these like throwaway things, that guy doesn't have a leg to stand on. They're
Hey,
not
that's
going to.
Dan
take
O'Bannon,
these
by the
guys-
way, pal, USC grad. Dan O'Bannon wrote Alien.
These guys are not going to want to have to pay the William
Right.
Golden estate.
That's
If,
my point.
They'll create their own screenplays by pulling all this shit all over the world. You know,
Yeah, and you'll never be
sell
able
it
to prove it.
themselves. They're not
Yeah.
going to. They don't want to split any profits with anybody. Believe me.
Yeah, AI is designed to save them money. They're not going to offer that money. I mean, a likeness is one thing you can't really. It's pretty hard to get away with that. But something like, oh, that scene looks really familiar to a scene from this movie. That gets harder and harder to prove, right? But the reality is AI is not creating stuff. It's taking stuff that already exists.
Right.
So there's no way that you could ever argue that anything you create with AI is original material.
Right.
Because it's not creating, it's simply sampling from stuff people have done. And then it becomes, how much copyright protection do you have for these little bits that it's taking? And
Right, but if you make Ants, the film Ants, which is Seven Samurai, they didn't have to pay Toho Films or whoever made Seven Samurai. It's the
Who
same
didn't?
story.
Who didn't?
Disney, whoever made Ants, who made the
it
Ants?
wasn't, I think it was DreamWorks, wasn't it?
DreamWorks, right? You know they didn't pay friggin' Toho or Akira Kurosawa.
No, but they're always going to do it, and then it's like apologize later, right? You
Right.
just do
Yeah, you
it,
do it, and
and
if you
then
get caught,
you
right.
pay the price later. And if there is anything that comes out of it, then they just sue the hell out of you. It's like the Gina Carano and Disney. What they do is they just try to drag you out as long as possible and just bankrupt you because they have the deeper pockets. They're going to win those type of things almost every time.
Everybody, whoever has the money wins the copyright battle.
Yeah.
So just remember that, because you may have the rights, but if you don't have the money to defend it, it doesn't matter.
Well, this is a
Right.
way for us to do well with this. This is a way for us to explore. I consider us like boutique publishers, right? Publishing
yeah.
2 books a year, having a great time doing it, right? Now, why don't we become boutique film studios, production companies, and take our existing properties, our comics that we've already printed, that we've already created, and try to find a way. And I'm going to do it, and I'll reach out to you guys too. All you really need is a distribution network. You don't even need, a distribution company, right? You don't need a production company anymore because you
Not
can
the
do it
internet.
yourself.
The internet is your distribution
Yeah, you
company
can put
anymore.
on YouTube, right? You could put on YouTube. You could sell directly to Netflix.
Let me grab this real quick, Billy. Leg Kick for $5. Thank you, Leg Kick. The comic may have the style, but it won't have the heart the creators put into it. But are people going to care?
They don't.
That's the other issue.
I
There's
think
a lot of heartless comics being made right now that people don't care. That they buy.
Yeah,
right. My prediction is AI will be short term until people get sick of it, right? So it's going to be a novelty, but no real new ideas are going to get generated. No, you know what I mean? Like, because that stuff's going to come from a person. unless that person is really clever and is able to really sink in with the AI and stuff like that. But if you're completely just relying on AI as just to be the be all end all, I think it'll seem original for a while, and then it'll be like, well, that's this, it's a derivative of this, that, the other thing, and people are going to be able to see through it. Not that the consumer always really cares, because they don't,
but they do get sick of it.
But they get sick of it. Yeah.
Look at Pixar.
That's a perfect
Pixar
example.
came out, and it was a whole new different style, a different kind of computer animation and everything, and that was the bomb. Everybody was doing Pixar. Well, Disney just announced they're going to do a hand-drawn movie.
Yep. Because people are sick of the.
They're sick of, they all look the same. It doesn't matter whether it's DreamWorks or Pixar. They all look the same.
Yep.
Yeah. And the thing is, Pixar already, they're the dinosaurs now. With AI, who cares about Pixar, right? Like, who cares? They used to be the cutting edge. They're not anymore. Everything right now is in the shadow of AI. Every single thing, like traditional special effects, digital special effects, all that stuff is all gone. You know what I mean? Like it's already passed. We just haven't seen the results of it yet. But it's already gone.
The interesting thing about what Billy's talking about, and if you look at it from just say, I'm going to do something with something I created, right? I'm going to use AI to enhance. If you look at what Fraga just posted not too long ago on Facebook, his Kit Carter drawings, and he had AI juice them up to different things. And Andy, you did the same thing with some of your stuff. Now, if we had access to or understanding of how to create, say, a 5-minute cartoon, like the Hanna-Barbera stuff with Space Ghost, you just did like little serialized cartoons once a month or whatever. And let's say I tried to sell Kit Carter, but no one's buying. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do it myself in AI. If you generated AI, there's people that would go, yeah, that looks like AI, but they would also understand that it's like, this is the only way they're going to get this product, this animated product. So they may accept it on a smaller level and an indie level where maybe they wouldn't accept it as much.
Well, take the Steve Root. Steve Root did the Nexus short, right? Animated short that he dumped lots of money in. It took him a long time to do. What was it? It's just a few minutes long, but it looks great. But imagine if he could have done that over the course of just a weekend, and it didn't really cost him anything, And it looked exactly the same as the short that he put out that is in his style and all that. I wouldn't begrudge him at all for that. Because the amount of money he spent.
And he will be able to do it. That's why I love this idea of us having total control over our properties. Like I said, someone who's dealt with Hollywood people, with one in the original She storyline, she battles to get to this guy who's ruined her life. And at the very end, he defeats her. Right. But spoiler alert, sorry, it's 30 years old. And he realizes that, and this guy, he's one who espouses himself to be a samurai. He thinks himself a samurai, a modern day samurai, the whole thing. He ends up defeating this woman and then comes to the realization, it's very poetic, by the way, that it's all his fault. Like, because of his dishonor brought this woman to this point. And anyway, and she kills some people and stuff. Anyway, he ends up breaking his sword, which is the worst thing a samurai could do, and to what's the word when you admit to something, to crime? What is it?
Confess.
He confesses to all her crimes, thus giving her a second chance on life, right? Which I thought when I wrote it, when I'm 1990, when I first came with the story, blah blah. I'm like, that's really poetic. I haven't seen that. Man, I would argue with film producers like, wait a minute, she doesn't win at the end? I'm like, well, no, but it kind of in the end she does. She gets second chance. And the villain achieves some sort of honor that he's always sought. Wait, she doesn't kill him? I'm like, no. It's like, well, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
So the villain is AI. Where's the AI type?
No, I'm just saying, but we make our AI films. If we can make our own AI films based on our own properties, animated, I'm talking about. If you want to go live action, that's one thing. I'm talking strictly animation.
Right.
Of our artwork, say.
Right.
Or manga it up, anime it up, whatever. We have.
What if we go old school and do it like the old Marvel cartoons in 1968? That would be just about as easy, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Just with the
Yeah,
heads
you can do
moving
that
and
in a
stuff.
day.
Move the still picture.
Billy, that is such a Hollywood thing to say to you. What you should have said to them was, what? Ilsa doesn't go with Laszlo? I mean,
Yeah,
Ilsa goes with Laszlo and he doesn't stay with Rick?
Yeah.
Come on, we can't have that.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I think we want to make two different movies. I said, but even like,
Hey, Billy, I had one of those animation guys. This guy was the head of this animation division, and we were pitching black and white in the 90s. And he said to the guy that owned the place, he said, guns just don't work. Because Reed Blackett, Black uses guns. He goes, guns just don't work. And I looked at that guy and I'm like, this is my licensing guy. This is my future. And I told that guy, I didn't even care at that point. I said, no, you can't make the guns work in the animation. Yeah. I said, there are people. I said, there's all kinds of films you can study. There's all kinds of gunplay. There's all kinds of things you can do. What I'm hearing is that you can't do it. And then that guy was like,
news and see black guys with guns every day in Chicago. So wait a minute, Aaron, I can't read these jokes anymore, Aaron.
I didn't.
I can't even get him out anymore. You're killing me. Please stop sending me stuff in the private chat, please.
Oh my gosh, I had a Billy joke set up and I forgot what it was. Now I was like, I got to remember to do this one, and you scooped me. You got one.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is such an Aaron thing.
Hey, real quick, as a little fun break, share my screen. I want you guys to watch this video on how this cop handled this guy. Check this out if you haven't seen it.
Holy shit! Look at this guy.
This guy gets pulled over. He told the cop that he identifies as a cat. But what the cop said next will make you respect them.
That's my preferred method of identification.
And this is
it's a cat caller. I'm currently identifying as a cat.
Okay. Well, look, we can do this the hard way if you'd like. I can have this car towed because last I checked, a cat is not licensed to operate a motor vehicle in the state of California. We can have animal control come get you, take you to a shelter where your owner can retrieve you for a fee of $70 after you're given the necessary immunizations, which do include a rabies shot, possibly even spayed or neuter, whichever you prefer or identify with.
No, I don't have $70.
I can also request that a mental health care professional come down here on scene and do an evaluation of you because you're considering letting him take a rabies shot rather than just give me an ID, use some manners so I can give you your ticket and move along.
We need more cops like this. When this guy gets pulled over, he told the cop that he identified.
That's perfect. Yeah.
How great is that?
I identify.
Did you guys see the video of the dude in the subway? He's like, and he's coming at this dude with a skateboard, and the skateboard guy just goes,
"Oh yeah!"
Bam! He hits him right in the chops, knocks him right on his ass.
Yeah, and that guy had a knife, man. That dude had a knife ready
to.
Yeah, the guy that came at the skateboarder, he had a knife. I mean, it was a blade about this. The blade was about this long.
Wow.
Yeah, so that guy looked at it like this is do or die, right? So he just took that guy out.
Tell you what, the dude with the knife had a jaw like granite because he got back up.
Well, getting to Andy's video, I'll tell you right now. Talk about going off the off ramp here, like we always do on the show. But I am sick to death of these people posting videos and harassing cops, trying to get YouTube fodder for their channels, and inciting police who are just trying to do their job. These guys really piss me off. I have no sympathy for these clowns. And they're all like, oh, look at that cop. He can't say that. He can't do that. BS. Quit being such a jerk. Give them your license and move on. I hate these people.
You know, one of the things I wish Trump would do, especially with all these protesters that come right up into the faces of police officers, I think police officers, and I texted you this, Graham, should have like a 3-foot safe space and call it a safe space for anyone, really. You should have a 3-foot perimeter that's your safe space. And if anyone comes into that safe space without your permission, that should be considered a threat.
Yeah, or throws a salami sandwich at you, and then he takes off running in a pink shirt, and then you tackle him to the ground and kick him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, did he have like
that guy? He's like, he throws his sandwich at him. I'm thinking like I've never been to that point in my life that I'd have a hoagie like that, and I would just throw it at somebody. I'd like, this is a freaking hoagie, man. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that away.
What bitch he is. Yeah. Hey, you want to share my screen, Aaron, real quick? Because I thought this was really funny.
I'd throw a salad at him, but
you guys see
exactly.
with Scott Jenkins. I don't know if you guys. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, Scott Jennings.
Jennings.
Scott Jennings.
He
I'm sorry,
crushes
but
these people constantly.
he is so great. But listen to this. What he calls a piece of shit. Watch.
You had an opportunity to ask the president today about this, and you did not. Why?
Well, because when he got on the phone and sounded very much alive, I thought it would sound kind of stupid, frankly, to ask an alive person if they were dead. But I'll tell you who is a complete piece of shit. I'm going to tell you right now.
There have been a lot of swear words at this
Tim
table today.
Walz,
Okay.
the governor of Minnesota, holding up a phone in front of a rally saying, well, we thought we were going to wake up and find out the president had died. Someday it'll happen. Someday it'll happen.
Although
Andy, I didn't know he was gonna. I know you wanted to.
No, I don't care.
Here we go. Yeah, I'll rewind it. Look at this. I love that he called him a piece of shit.
What I didn't even know about this.
Oh, you didn't know this? What? Yeah.
Although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
Yeah, and it'll be you fag.
Yeah, exactly.
What an asshole.
Frick.
Piece of
Well,
shit.
what did he say this morning? Yeah.
Could you imagine? Did anybody in the past 4 years go, just wait, one day we're going to wake up and we're going to get that news talking about, Biden and stuff? Good Lord. They would have been raked over the hole.
Actively tried to kill him.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about, they're disappointed because they didn't wake up to find out that he wasn't sick.
Well, and the fact that it's like he hasn't been seen in 3 whole days.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you freaking kidding me? Biden was like comatose for how long? He would call
4
Liz
years.
like what? 3 in the afternoon.
Here's another thing. Do you guys know who the Secretary of Defense is?
Yeah, Hegseth.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth, right?
Yeah.
Who's the Secretary of Defense under Biden?
It was
Milley, right?
No.
It was
It was that black guy who disappeared into the hospital.
Right. We don't even know his name. So this is how the press is. The press totally gave him a free pass, ignored him. That motherfucker, the Secretary of Defense, when there are multiple wars going on, felt it so comfortable enough and so out of touch the president of the United States was under Biden is that he went in for cancer surgery and was out of commission for 3 weeks, and the president had no idea of it.
Yeah.
Well, neither did the press.
And the press, if the press didn't bother to ask.
Yeah.
But they're covering Pete Hegseth every fucking day.
Well, the mayor of LA is in Ghana while her city burns.
Right.
well, that's right. It was Lloyd Austin. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the fun one too. Is so you saw, what was it, last week? It was either last week or the week before, where Hegseth and RFK were talking about the pull-ups and the push-ups, right? And then the New York Times has to run a headline saying, we would advise against anybody that doesn't work hasn't worked out to just do something this extreme, is basically what they said.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you freaking kidding me?
Dude, I walked into the bathroom at the airport and it says above every urinal, toilet, non-potable water, do not drink. These are the kind of people we're dealing with.
Are you freaking serious?
They have to tell people not to drink the toilet water.
Right.
Are you freaking kidding me? That's what we're dealing with here, folks.
I saw something recently where it told you not to eat the box of
a Snickers bar on the back says, unwrap this Snickers bar before you eat.
I talked to a lawyer. This was a city guy, because when we were building a pool in Corona, there's all these weird rules. Like, well, you can't do this, and you can't do this, especially in California. And I'm like, these are all seemingly so arbitrary and weird. Why are they on the books? Why do we have to, build our pool accordingly? And he said, because every one of these things happened. And the lawyers, they err on the side of caution, right? So instead of the city getting sued, they just put these ridiculous things on the books. So then, they don't have liability. And when you see this crazy shit on the book, these crazy laws, this is why, somebody eats the box, Graham. I guarantee you, somebody ate that box and tried to sue that company.
Yeah,
It's absolutely insane. It's like
Dude, it's the same
Preparation
thing.
H. Preparation H says, don't take internal, don't take by mouth.
Right. Well, it's the same thing though with most drugs. When you see the side effects on commercials, it might be the stupidest thing, but from what I was told, when they do their testing and stuff, if one person basically says like, "Man, I took that headache medicine, next thing you know, I was pissing blood." All right, mark it down. We got to tell people that if they take ibuprofen, it could piss blood.
Right. Yeah.
Gotta warn them.
Do you remember?
Hey,
Well, that's all part of nanny society that these lawyers have created for us, and a litigious society that forces it. That people, and it all stems from people unwilling to take control of their own lives, to take responsibility for their own decisions. If I do something stupid and I get hurt, okay, I did something stupid.
Right.
I didn't need a warning when I stuck my finger under the lawnmower that one time to say, don't stick your finger under there. I knew I shouldn't have.
Right.
But I did it because I was stupid.
Common sense. It's weird, like coming from California to Texas here, there's bodies of water. There's all kinds of things where people could get jacked up. There's bike paths that open up on highways. There's all kinds of stuff, but it's all designed for pleasure. It's all designed for like the human experience, to enjoy the surroundings, right? And every time my wife and I are driving around, we always think, if we lived in California, there would be a fence around that lake. There would be a sign that says, There would be signs everywhere telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. And I'll tell you, like, freedom does exist in certain places, and it does exist here. And it's just such a novelty for us because I just can't believe it. There's people riding around in motorcycles without helmets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the
Hey,
thing with
I found that video of the skateboard if you want to show it.
Oh, let's take a
see
look.
It's a big board too. Yeah. So watch the right hand. See it?
Yeah, the guy does have a
firearm
knife.
on mass transit.
He's trying to hide it, but he's got a knife.
Yeah, I see
Big
it.
fucking knife. Boom! I would shake that fucker right onto the tracks.
I'm surprised, man. That he was real close to going on to him. That's for sure.
You know,
Like I was smart enough to walk
there you
away.
go.
Oh,
You
down
stay-
there.
you
Arrested?
stay down there, motherfucker. That's what I do. You stay down there. now
Probably
you
want to get out of there. You can get electrocuted by Are they the rails,
Oh
too.
my god! And the guy, see,
Give me your hand, but he has a knife. You're gonna give the guy a hand? Get out of there yourself, or drop the knife, whatever. Drop the knife.
If they're arresting the
Get the
guy
hell out of there.
with the
Super
skateboard for
dangerous.
defending
If he's,
himself.
Yeah, my friend that lived in New York City, he said if somebody attacked you on the subway platform, throw him in front of a train because the law will come down on you too.
Put him in cuffs. Right.
So you might as well get as much as you can. Out of it.
Yeah.
So that's
Well-
all there is to it. But let's analyze this one more time, right? Now, the confrontation, you don't know. The guy, I
Here,
will
shut this
assume.
guy up.
Yeah, we're good with that.
yeah.
Okay.
So you know what
Yeah.
the funny thing is, and I saw it somewhere. One of our friends said to us about our boys, and it's great being a boy dad. It really is, and I don't know how you guys do it with daughters, but they're like, you raised your kids like they were in the 1970s.
Somebody said that to you?
Yeah, I'm like, no, we didn't. But the thing is about when we grew up in the 70s, it was all the strong survive.
Right.
So, the weak, they're the ones that ended up on fucking milk crates or in the back of fucking Art's friend's van, That's what happened. That's survival, man, Like
Yeah, you had to be reasonably savvy,
Yeah. It's like
in
when
those
you-
days.
It's like when you have the bigger kids say the high school kids, and you're in elementary school, and they say something like "fuck you," and they come chasing you.
Yeah,
you don't have to be the fastest kid in town. You just got to be faster than your fucking friends.
Right.
You know what?
One of your
Yeah.
friends. All they want is one of you. If you could,
Yeah. I had a move in elementary school. You're gonna love this, Billy. Okay, so I was always a smaller guy, right? So some guy would start chasing me. You just start running, right? And then what I would do is I would just drop in a ball and I would trip the guy. Like he would just fall over me. And at that point, now he's on the ground and then I would just jump on him and pummel him.
I would just jump on him.
Once he's down,
because it's harder to take these guys out. I mean, they tower over you, right? But it's like once they're on the ground, right? It's all fair game.
My son Matthew got into a fight in 7th grade, and because they had a sign up that said "Join the wrestling team," and this big kid. I'm not gonna say his name, obviously, not like that. He's a nice kid, but he's a big kid, and Matthew's small. Matthew was like the smallest kid in school. He really was. For a long time, he was really like by far. He's like on the 1%. Should we give him HGH to let him grow? And he's like, absolutely not. I'm like, give him fucking HGH.
Stretch his bones.
Anyway, so the kid kicked over the wrestling sign, the poster or whatever, because Matthew's on it and some of the other kids. And the kid said, yeah, I'll show you how tough wrestling is, whatever. And he started with Matthew, and Matthew beat the shit out of him. He got suspended and stuff, but him and the other kid, but like,
dude, don't mess with
Wendy's, McDonald's, Fridays, where you want to go, kid?
Don't mess with wrestlers. That is the freaking hardest sport. Oh my gosh.
Well, the thing is, wrestling, once you get them on the ground, it's
all over.
Yeah.
Like
when I was in Germany, we were staying at a youth hostel, and one of the guys was a football player, and he was a real asshole. And all he kept doing was jibing on me, right? And we're in the hallway one time, and I was a wrestler. And I just had enough of this guy. So I went in, I shot in on him. I lifted him up by his legs, dragged him down to the ground. And then I cross-faced him right onto the carpet, just banged him up. And I dragged my arm across a youth hostel rug. You can only think of the bacteria that was in there, right? So I get this burn on my arm from that, right? From taking this guy out. And the next day, it's like all pussy. It's all loaded up, getting infected and everything. Oh my God. Luckily, a buddy of mine had some Neosporin, and I rubbed that in there and got rid of it. But that guy, he didn't fuck with me again.
Yeah.
Super Mastermind, this isn't a super chat, but it's kind of funny. He says, I beat up a kidnapper in 5th grade. A man tried to drag off 2 girls from my 5th grade class. I was not allowed to play sports. They feared I would be an issue if I got mad.
If I got mad.
Man, he beats the crap out of everybody.
Yeah, he's like Bruce Banner.
God. Don't piss him off.
Yeah, Bruce Banner.
When we left, we left New York in 1974 because it was just turning into a real shithole and stuff. And my dad retired from the police. Well, yeah, he left. He got injured, and so he retired. He was a homicide detective, and he took us to Florida to live, right? And we had our problems when we were in Long Island. A fight every now and then, but it was nothing really big. I moved down to Florida, and we're not there a week, and I get mugged.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, my brother and I are riding our bikes with a friend of ours, and there's this little garden pathway at the Florida Institute of Technology. Really nice. And this dude is sitting there fishing in one of the koi ponds. This looks like an alcoholic type guy, right? And he pulls a knife on us, and he tells us to get off our bikes. And so we get off our bikes and we take off running. And we're about 1.5 miles from my house. So we run back to my house, and I told my dad, I said, hey, this guy just pulled a knife on us. And he goes, where is he? So he hops in the car with us, and we drive over there. My dad opens up the trunk, takes the tire iron out. He goes over to the guy. He's still sitting there. Our bikes are still there. And my dad says, did you pull a knife on these kids? He goes, no. He picks him up. He jacks him up against a palm tree, and then he takes the crowbar and bangs the palm tree over his head. And then he goes, did you pull a knife on these kids? And he goes, yeah. So my dad spins around, throws his cuffs on him, throws him in the trunk of the car. Then drives him back to our house, and my mom ends up calling the local cops to come get him.
Because your dad wasn't a cop down there, right?
No, he was retired. But as soon as the cop showed up, he showed his gold shield, and it's like, oh, okay,
Oh my God.
Hey, Aaron, by the way, Art was talking about when he was, he's kind of short in stature and stuff.
Yeah.
This is so funny. He shared a picture of himself with me from just a little while ago where he was, trying to look tough and stuff with the axe. Share my screen.
Not true. Disavow.
Yeah, look. I mean, when Art said he's short in stature, guys, I've stood next to him before, and let me just tell you, you know, he wouldn't have to get on his knees for certain, you know, just saying.
Oh my goodness.
Not that tall of a guy.
Look at the head of his schlong, which everyone would think is his right knee, but no, that's not his knee.
That's right. That's his third leg going down that pant leg.
Yeah, but look at those arms, man. Look at those arms.
He's jacked.
That's right.
What's that? Is that axe velcroed onto the pant?
Yeah, it's like velcroed onto his thigh.
Art, you should
I mean,
so
you know.
grow your hair like that, bro. You
Well, I'm going to sue AI, and then I'm going to sue Andy for this.
Oh, you can't sue. I didn't. What are you talking? You sent this to me. You're like, you know.
Art, with that hair like that, you look a little bit like makeup effects artist Rick Baker, doesn't he?
Ooh, Rick Baker. Yeah, very distinguished.
You look like a 2 foot tall, jacked Rick Baker.
It does look
Well,
like
I
Rick
happen to
Baker.
know Jack Baker is only 2 foot tall. So
No, I met. Did I tell you that, guys, that story at San Diego 2 years ago? And Rick Baker walked by my booth. I'm like, and I ran up to, and I think, I don't know, Rick came with me when I first. I'm like, I'm sorry, Mr. Baker, can I just take a picture? I don't want to. He's like, oh yeah, sure, you know. And then take a picture. Next thing I know, there's 20 people around us. I'm like, oh, thanks a lot. And he's like, can I take it? You know, like he just wanted to walk around Comic-Con, you know, no one bothered him. And because someone saw me taking a picture with him, I forget it. I'm sure he still loves me too. Because of that.
Well,
He did have the cool hair.
I passed him several years ago, pre-COVID. I passed him on the sidewalk outside of San Diego, and he was just by me when I realized who it was, and I was so pissed at myself because if I'd seen him coming, I would have stopped him and said something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just missed him because it was like, wait, that, and then he was gone into the.
Yeah, he was.
I got to go to a Rick Baker Halloween party.
Did you really?
No way.
Yeah, my friend Mike Smithson, who's a major special effects artist. I hope he's doing well now, but he created the Fat Bastard makeup, and he also did the Cat in the Hat. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but he sculpted this statue right here of Doug.
Can you go big?
That's right. Yeah. Give me a second here to make him.
So he did all the mock
camera off and got up and went and just picked it up to show us.
Well, no, it's like 3 feet. It's big.
Oh, it's
yeah.
as big as that picture I showed. Okay.
No, that's 2 feet. Remember, I'm only 2 feet. That thing's taller than I am. But anyway, we used to be roommates in Huntington Beach, and so we went down there. And as you're driving up to the house, there's a car crashed into a tree. And the headlights, it's dusk, so the headlights going in different directions and stuff like that. And you're like, oh shit, what's going on? And you get in, the pool's all dyed red, and there's like a guy face down, blood pumping out of him and stuff. And then he's got some like replicas of like the Frankenstein makeups and stuff like that, and they're all on display and stuff. And I'll tell you, man, that place was decked out. It was.
He
crazy.
does that every Halloween. You see it on Instagram. If you guys are not
Yeah.
following
do you?
him on Instagram, you should.
Yeah, you should follow him on Instagram. It's great.
I don't think I do.
I know. I was going to say it. I don't think I do either.
Every Halloween he posts like his makeup he does, and he generally does the whole makeup with the family and everything, and it's usually thematic. Like one year, that Twilight Zone episode, Graham, where everybody had like pig noses, and they did they were all dressed, he made up his daughters and his wife to look like that nurse, with the pig nose and everything. And
his wife is hot, right? Because I remember she was cute.
Of course. My friend Mike Smithson, we'd go out clubbing. We were on the hunt, and it was when Lost Boys was popular. So he had like the Lost Boys like mullet, but it's really long, and it was all done. He's a Hollywood guy, right? And he would wear those contacts, that those where they look like they're starting to turn into vampires, kind of thing. In that, and so he would wear those out to the clubs, and he's a tall guy too. So me and my other friend Dan, we didn't stand a chance with the ladies. Mike always got the girls.
He had the contacts, and
I don't believe that, Art. Art, I don't believe that.
He had a trench coat with the collar on. Oh, come on, man! Type in Mike Smithson. He's a public figure. Let me see.
No, you had a chance with the ladies, buddy. Come on.
I did okay.
Yeah, you did. Look at you. Look at you. You have devil, you 7 times the son of a chimpanzee. Come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Ron.
Well, gentlemen, because we're doing this late night thing, we were going to wrap it up in about an hour, and we're about 10 minutes past the hour here. So I think we can probably do that. As we said, this is kind of an experiment. We try. I believe next week we'll be back at our regular time, but we just wanted to see what the late night crowd was like, and we wanted to do something a little bit different rather than talk about comics all the time. Talk about some stuff that really triggers us. And there you got some of it tonight. So we appreciate you guys joining in on the experiment. I want to remind everybody that I do have a campaign called Wraith of God 3 Fear Hollow. I've got 2 pages, guys, 2 pages left. And I am done with it. So it won't be live much longer. So if you have not backed, please consider doing so. You'll find a link in the description of this video, as well as Andy Smith's Lilith. His campaign is still active, and you'll find a link in the description of this video. Graham Nolan, shockingly, your Sunshine State book is still active. I thought you
it's actually scheduled now for Friday. It'll come down Friday. The files are at the paginator now, so it's going to the printer within the next 2 days.
So get your order in now while it's still open. Art, of course, you have Black and White, Sins of the Father. That baby is also live right now. You'll find a link in the description of this video.
And I want to thank we got a few backers today. I want to thank you guys for doing that. We got new T-shirts. We got a new tier, so we got T-shirts. So if you haven't picked up one of those T-shirts, go do so today.
And Billy, you got nothing going on right now. You're fulfilling. So
yeah, well, no, we're not fulfilling. Well, yeah, all of our stuff
you're in the process.
Yeah, everything's at the printers. All the stretch goals, all the books, everything's done. And I'm working on Rand, but I owe a commission, so I'm working on that.
Well, I hope so. For crying out loud, you know how long I've been waiting for that?
It's not for you.
Don't pay your artists in advance, folks. This is what they do. String it along.
They'll just keep you waiting.
Yep, for years.
Oh, and then I got to do Rand, but we will be launching Rand: Revenge of the Warrior in a few weeks, as well as our She-Wolverine 25th anniversary crossover special celebration.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
So,
all right, folks, hit that like and subscribe. We appreciate it very much. Thank you for the super chats, guys. We appreciate your participation. We couldn't do it without you. So have a good evening, everybody, and we'll see you all next week on Andy's channel for the Professionals. Right. Good night, everybody.